Hi, welcome back to the Playwright with the TypeScript course. In this video, we are going to explore how to interact with the web pages effectively using Playwright. As you work with a web application, you often need to manage multiple pages and context. We will start by diving into how to create, switch between, and close pages and context. This is crucial for handling complex scenarios in your. So as previously, I did create two web pages for you. The first one is actually well-known, the index.html, and the second one, the one we will be redirected to, which will open in a separate window. So once we create the open new window, we of course open the new page with the cat image and button for going to the main page. And we also have the button for setting cookies and for deleting cookies. Just let me show you actually how the cookies is set. So we go to the storage in our DevTools, and we're actually expecting this cookie to be here. So as you can see, we did set it today, and once we do press the delete, the cookie actually was deleted. Let's see it once again. Set cookie, cookie was set, and then it's right here. Let's actually make it possible to test this, and the cookies is kind of often thing, because in the real world example application, you often are I would say forced to set the cookie from your browser or use those cookies. So let's make sure that we know how to get to the cookies and use them later. So we would need another file, another folder, the file, workshop 5, and this should be spec.ts. All right. Okay, we do import. Let's actually make it faster and just copy from the previous workshop. All right, we do import the test and expect and start our test. Let's call this open new window, and navigate back. And page. Okay, and then let's go to our page.goto, and let's copy the link from the previous one and modify it, right? This should be like that. So once we are on the page, we have to actually get to know the selector we're using. As always, I put the IDs on those selectors, on those buttons, and there is the open new window, set cookie, and delete cookie. Let's use the open new window and actually await for page.click and give the new window. All right. So as before, similarly to the pop-up, we want to actually expect the new page for the Playwright. So we want to have the event like const. So this would be the page promise, and we would have to set that our context wait for event. This event will be page. So here you can see the red line that we cannot find the context. Similarly to page, we can provide the context in the arguments. Context. Make it perfect. Nice. And then we actually the new page which are open, we want to assign it to the page promise, because the page promise is the event which waiting for page. So const new page, and we would await for page promise. So now we have the page context, new page. We do click on window, and then we have to wait for actually the new page state to be loaded. So as before, we have to add the page, but actually not use the existing page, because once we pass the page, this will be using the existing page and always returning true, because we already loaded our page. So we have to use new page. Wait for state loaded. Nice. And just for our information, let's maybe console.log. What is the title of our page, right? So we have to await for new page the title. So the method is pretty much simple. Just return the page's title. Now, let's put some assertion here, because once you go to another page, you're actually expecting that the page is really open. So it would make sense that we have the title, but we cannot be sure that the content of the page is actually loaded. So let's actually make the assertion on this page and be confident that the data on new page is loaded. Open new window and let's inspect the cat image. And the cat image and heading and back to main. So we got the back to main button and we have our title heading. So let's actually make sure that this would be much easier assertion with the text. Let's make sure that the welcome to the new page text is actually existing on this page. All right. So we have to await for a new page, and we want to actually get by role. And we want to get the heading because the welcome to the new page text is actually wrapped into the h1 element, which is heading. And the name of it would be the welcome to new page. Nice. And this, of course, have to be provided as a separate argument. Nice. And we want this actually to be visible. Not here, right there. To be visible. All right. Let's make sure that this is actually work. And put the only here. So the only one test was run. You can see the page is actually stuck because we did not change the workshop file. And let's see what is the actual error message in such cases, because it's also useful once you're writing your test and debugging the issues. The Playwright providing is default timeout, so we're still waiting once the page is loaded. Finally, the timeout is done, so we are actually opening new window, waiting for a locator, open new window, and we cannot find this locator. So you can see the default reporter for Playwright actually provide a lot of information. So we can see that we cannot really find the open new window locator, and we can see the actual step where did it fail. And by the so let's actually make the test work. Okay, open new page, asserting. You can see that the new page title was logged here, and this is actually the title of the page. Cool. So now you can see that it's not that hard to handle the separate pages in the Playwright. There's different ways into different frameworks like Cypress and WebDriver. So I kind of like this solution because it's pretty clear what we do expect from the new page. Let's skip this test and move on to the cookie one. So call it at cookie sync page, and then we'll go to our page. Cool. So as you remember, the selector for the cookie button was the set cookie, which is ID. So we're gonna go to the await, page click, and provide a selector, which is add cookie. All right, so we did click the cookie. Now we're sure that the cookie was assigned. We can check it in our application, but how to actually do it with a Playwright, right? First, let's define some variables which will have the name cookies. And what we want to do is actually to await for page context. It's necessary to use to get into the cookies. So after that, as you can imagine, you also can have the method which is add cookies. So you can really add the wanted cookie from your Playwright application. But as for now, we want to only check the cookies. So in here, we also have to provide the URLs parameter, which is optional, but still let's put in there. Cool. So for our cookies, I did provide some dummy name for the cookie, and this is actually the cookie we are adding once the button is clicked. So let's get the name of session and value 12345. Some basic expiration date and the path, of course. So let's actually get the specific cookie, because as for now, in this variable, we have all existing cookies. So let's call it session cookie. And this should be the cookies. And we want to find the specific cookie. Let's actually use the method find, and we would want to check all of our cookies and return only the cookie name, which is session. So let me go through this once again, because this might be a little bit confusing. At this line, we get in all the cookies. So this cookies variable consists of all the cookies. As you know, there might be a ton of lists. We all do accepting cookies without no checking them, etc. And there is multiply of them. So if you want to get some specific one and actually work with it, this would totally make sense. So that's why we provide the session cookie. And we want for all the cookies and only to find the specific one. So we put in the loop. From all cookies, we're selecting only the one which have a name of session, right? Let's actually also console log it to make sure that this is there. Console.log and session cookie. Perfect. So now we want to actually await for session cookie to be defined. Let's actually put the information that this is actually session cookie, like that, right? Let's run the test. I want to only. All right, I believe in this case we did provide some wrong selector, because so far the page was open, and I believe we are on this step where we want to add the cookie. So that's why the test is not really passing. Let's make sure that we do have the right selector. So this would be the set cookie. Cool. Set cookie. Now we're all set up. As you can see, the Playwright debug is really much handleable. Set cookie. All right. Cool. you can see the all cookie information. If you need to get some data from the cookie, you can also, for example, when you need to get some value, so you can just go and write something like session cookie dot name or domain, etc. Everything is included in that cookie. But as for now, you can see the cookie was added. Cool. Let's now actually test how we can delete cookie from the website, which is not a really common practice to delete the cookie from your Playwright application framework. But there's some cases when the user, for example, reject cookie. So we might want to check the path where the cookie is not actually presented. Let's call it delete cookie. Page. All right. So as previously, we go to the workshop 5 index.html file. Then we click on the set cookie. Then we also are waiting for cookies, and we do have a session cookie. Basically, you see the structure. Basically, you see the structure of those two tests are really similar. But as for now, we won't work with the duplication of code, and I will show you later how we can handle such situation where we have a lot of common code, so we can really improve the quality of this. But as for now, let's skip this part and go to the delete button. So we want our page, click delete cookie with a hash for ID cookie. Perfect. So now you can see that we actually set cookie first, then actually assign it, then put it in the session cookie, and after that press delete button. So what we do expect that there is no cookies, right? So we can we can also put the console log here to make sure that the cookies was added. And what we need to do is pass the const of cookies one more time. So we just copy it from here and let's call it deleted cookies. And also what we want to do is again search for the name of session. So we can be sure that the session cookie is not set it up. Deleted session cookie. All right. And we need to pass deleted cookies right here. And then let's put some assertion, which we do expect our deleted session cookie not to be defined. So you can see we can put the not to be defined, but at the same time Playwright also allow us to do the Playwright also allow us to use something like to be undefined. So we don't need that not keyword. All right. So setting up the cookies, then we log in them, console log, and after it we click delete cookie. Let's do it. Not for all the tests, but only for this one. Set the cookie, check if deleted. Cool. As you can see, the cookies was added, but at the end we did the assertion where the cookie was undefined. To make sure that let's just log in the deleted session cookie again. Perfect. And as before, we can see that cookie was set first, and session cookie is undefined because it's not actually there yet. Right, let's skip it and add it to Git and add the commit message. Which is workshop 5. And push it to the GitHub. So that's a wrap up of our page interaction with the Playwright. We covered managing pages and context, handling multiple windows, and working with the cookies on a local storage. In the next video, we will dive into the details of writing test suites with the Playwright, including organizing your tests, running them in parallel, and generating reports. So stay tuned for that. See you in the next one.